sick, might as well call the doctor. Popping this bitch, nigga, yeah, I'm really proper. Floss for a nigga, why they wanna talk they got her. I'm drip, 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 hotter than lava. You know I'm the vibe, I keep my dress outside twisted, cause I'm kinda dripping. Ooh, I just asked your bitch, but guess I'm big pimpin'. Don't step to me behind your thotty, cause I'm not trying to catch a body. I can't pop bottles where Afro Sensei dropping the boat, got the girls in the city. Open the back cause they know they rent pay. The BGC like it ain't no game. No fakes, no fronts, no time for lanes. Super Cali swagger, listen, sissy. How you feeling, man?
Up with every place to go. Face beat off the frame, those painted lashes lay. Neon jacket with the matching boots, laced by sweet roll who strings 2 inches of extensions for your love. I'm feeling super good, sweater listening. So sick in you make no sense. I'm feeling super good, sweater listening. Been crawling up the walls, it's time to ball. Dance was the solution to all this seclusion. Nails looking sharper than a handsaw sword. Bossy and flossy is a movie on, and I grant cause you can't duplicate, but hey, go on. I'm feeling super good, sweater listening. So sick in you make no sense. I'm feeling super good, sweater listening. Coming through like drip, 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 drip. I'm feeling super good, sweater listening. So sick in you make no sense. I'm feeling super good, sweater listening. Coming through like drip, drip. I'm feeling super good, sweater listening. So sick in you make no sense. I'm feeling super good, sweater listening. Coming through like drip, 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 drip. All dressed up with every place to go. Face beat off the frame, those painted lashes lay. Neon jacket with the matching boots, laced by sweet roll who string.
Episode of the Afro Sensei Show. I'm Afro Sensei. Hope everybody's had a good week. Quick things about what's going on with me. Of course, the new album BGC is out now. Came out on the 22nd of October, but it's been out for about 2 weeks now. Actually, last night I performed a song from the album B-Side Blues at like an artist showcase held here in Alexandria. Just myself and a few other local artists performing. It was put on by another local artist actually. Well, he's based in New Orleans, but he lives here now. So I performed there last night. I think it went well. There were also, a couple of producers in the crowd, and just kind of I guess you call like a industry event. I guess like a better word. I don't really, Alexandria. I guess you'll connect that to like a music industry, but it's pretty much what it was. Like local radio personalities, other artists, producers, things like that. So that happened last night. I also filmed some videos. Some live performance videos for a few of the tracks off the album. If you haven't listened to it, a few songs, Little Waves, which has been out as a single, but also a song called FOMO, a song called Elephant. It's on the album. Both of those songs are on the album, and also B-side Blues. So shot those with the same director that filmed a few of my other videos, Panic the Plug. Those I think hopefully will be out later this month. For all together, so maybe at least like a few, a little bit at a time. We had to tease them out. So those should be out, and been working on and then gathering some remixes. Actually, another artist that I'm friends with, Z-Rock, remixed one of my songs, Indra, and which will be on the remix EP. A couple of songs, remixes that I've done myself that I haven't released, and a couple of other people that I've reached out to that have done remixes that should be out early 2022. You know, cause I say something for the new year. So that working on that, and just working on a couple of tracks for a collaborative EP with a DJ Mind Blowers, who's actually based out. So it's kind of, across Atlantic sort of collaboration. So been working on that back and forth for about the past few months. EP will be about 5 tracks. It doesn't have a title yet, but when it does have a title, y'all probably be the first to know about it if I post on my IG. So that's happening too, and just multiple little pots brewing, I guess you could say at the moment. So yes, that is happening. So let's get into this quick rundown of our artists for tonight. Of course, me, myself, and Day Night be on tonight with Super Swagalistic. I want to say Brendan. I should just actually not pronounce his name, but it's BRVNDON. So I'm gonna say Brendan with this track Drown. Chaz Cardigan with We Look So Good. Devin with Cash That. We had Dream Nails with They Them, which is a great anthem for non-binary folks. You got Hein with Bloom, and you got Mikhail Kilgore, which tried to play his track last episode, but we had some technical issues. But tonight we're all good to go. We're playing his track, Man in the Barbershop, which is like a really beautiful ballad. So a good lineup tonight. Some few little news bits here. Now we got a bunch of headlines actually. But first and foremost, I guess I finally watched Squid Game. I won't give away, a little bit late to the party, but not so much because the party's still jumping, because everybody's still talking about it. So I'm still sipping in before the dessert. My thoughts, I'm gonna give the spoilers away because in case anybody's gonna watch it, but definitely not a show for the faint heart. If you're not a fan of violence and dark, dark and filth and trash, and just really gut-wrenching satire, which is what it is. Basically, it's a dark satire on capitalism. I'm not really giving away much by saying that. If you're not a fan of that stuff, you may want to skip walk on by to quote Miss Dion. Oh yeah, red light, green light. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. once you realize what's going on, it's surprising that moment happens when you realize what's actually happening in that moment, because it's like you got an idea what you get. It's like, okay, because Hunger Games. Is it Hunger Games? Want to say like just dystopian, nightmarish capitalism run amok, the rich treating the poor like literal, fun in games. Dangerous Game, if you read that in school, like stuff like that. You got an idea of what you're getting into, but once you actually snaps into like, oh shit, and then that's this like I remember like literally I was laying down in the bed watching. I was like, oh okay, it's like, oh, we're going right into the heart of fucking darkness for this. So yes, but like I would, if you can get past that, the blunt terror and violence of it, or not to get past it, but really just take it in, I guess, however you want. If you can stomach that, then I think you can make it through the rest of the series. One of the plot points, I won't give it away, didn't entirely work for me. It was kind of separate from the main plot of the show, which is basically you have these contestants that compete, cash strapped, contestants that are really cash strapped. Got a little Wikipedia I printed out just now for a reference's sake. It was created by Huang Dong-hook, and he wrote in regular episodes. It stars Lee Jung-jae and then Park Hae-soo, Wee Ha-jun, Young Hyo-young, some other actors as well. So it revolves around these children's games. Like a few of them I know, like Red Light, Green Light. We all know that one. Another one they had. Well, again, I think everybody knows Red Light, Green Light, so I won't say the rest of them. But basically, that's the premise. Everybody's cashed up and broke, and they enter this tournament where they can win cash, but to win that cash, they got to play some deadly games. So, but I do think, um, it's a great satire of extreme extreme wealth inequality and like I say capitalism and just is and then the first episode really got me, but then the second episode really got me too because it basically you know it's a slight spoiler, but I don't think it's too bad. It basically explores their life on the outside and juxtaposes that towards what it is inside of the game and shows you how the game is obviously terrible and cruel, but the outside is just horrible and cruel, and there are technically no rules. So, to quote people of Asia, it might in fact be worse. So that's really that was really like, oh, that was a really good twist. And some other good twist in there too, which it's one twist. Again, I won't give it away, but it's one where you be like, fuck no. I literally was like, that was my reaction. That's all I'm gonna say. So I'll get off of before I say anything else about it. But I recommend it if you can take the violence and the roughness of that just that in the chest tension, then I would recommend Squid Game. All right. What else we got? Okay. Also, yeah. So this is a thing that happened, I think, literally overnight, or at least in the past, I'd say at least 24 hours. So Joe Budden, if you remember Joe Budden, he's at one point was a rapper. That's not shade. I think he's pretty much retired at this point. He had a couple of hits in the early 2000s. Was part of a group Slaughterhouse. If you know, you know. He hosts podcasts now and different shows, things like that. And basically, this clip of him saying, basically coming out as bisexual has gone viral, and everybody's chip-chapping, keep yapping about it. But he's not really coming out as viral. This is from Love B. Scott. Basically, this is during the discussion they were talking about. They just talk about different topics on his podcast. This episode of he co-hosted the episode called "Y'all Must Be New Here." It's popular podcast making the rounds, and he says during the podcast that quote, "I'm bisexual. How do I spread this news? How do I spread the word? Listen, guys and girls, spread the word. I'm down." So of course, Twitter of course goes nuts because that's what Twitter would do. and then you have here we go. This is from B Sky says, but anyone familiar with inner shenanigans hasn't have known Budden was actually talking about himself. Clip was part of a long discussion about the baby's Rolling Loud Miami controversy and the LGBTQ plus community's alleged forgiveness over his perceived homophobic comments. So then Budden and his host Ish and Ice for discussion on the topic, and then that's when he says that he likes boys and girls, and then he later would tweet, and then then the viral moment happens basically. So I think what it was, he's making some sort of larger point about, or trying to make some point about how we the community, the alphabet community has so much power to get people counseling, yada yada. I listened to bits and pieces of it, but basically he's not actually bi. He just was saying that to like say, I guess if I say I'm bi, I'll have the same power that they have to counsel people or whatever. But it did get me thinking that, about attitudes towards bisexual men. I do think that, there's a certain, because I noticed, people have been commenting about certain things, and then the perennial subject that comes up, particularly among women, straight women, tends to be, would you date a bisexual man? And then a lot of them say, well, no, I don't have to share. And that, I don't totally get that, because it's like, when you say I don't want to share, what do you mean? Because like, do you think that because the man you're dating is bisexual that he automatically would want to sleep with everybody, or would that want to be monogamous? Because if y'all agree to be monogamous, and he cheats on you with somebody, whether that person is a man or a woman, it's not you sharing him, that's him cheating on you. So there's that. And also the fact that, there are probably many men who are bisexual to varying degrees. If you follow your Kinsey scale, 0 to 6, 0 being absolutely straight, 6 being absolutely gay. And then in between that, variations, varying degrees of bisexuality, And so, if you're dating a man or he wants to date you, and he is bi, part of the reason some of those men may not actually come out and tell you that they, have been with men and women or are attracted to men as well as women, is because immediately a lot of women will, or not all women, but many women will lump them immediately in with us, with someone like myself who is gay, is not bisexual. So and so that explains why that those men may be afraid to admit that. And then unfortunately, some of my fellow gay men are also judgmental of bisexuals, saying that bi now, gay later plan, which some men do that. Including myself, when I first came out, I said I was bi, which I never was, but I said it because I wasn't totally comfortable with being gay yet. But there are bisexual men who are actually bi and exist, and whether he's with you or with a man, he's still bi. And I know that discussion started to begin with Joe Budden's little attempted I don't know what we're going to call it, trolling, clout chasing, I don't know. That moment, and I think it needs to be said again. It's like a either or. On the one hand, it's like be open and come out and just say what you like. But then if you say what you like, then you immediately almost eliminate almost half the dating pool for yourself, because many women, or a lot of women, are just like, well, they're either freaked out by it, or they say I don't want to share, or they think that they have to compete with a man, compete with your attention. Which again, if they're committed to you, then this shit. Of course, they may be attracted to people, but I think there's a few holes in the logic when people say like I don't want to share and other things like that. Yeah, I say I need some of this power. Yeah, power. To quote Olivia from The Sopranos, what power they got? I don't. And then just a quick little mini rant on cancel culture. Then we get into the very first video. People say, because I've been hearing this, I hate the fact that the word cancel seems to be taking the place of critique. Like to me, canceling somebody is really trying to cancel somebody is either, i.e., if they're putting them in jail for like their speech, basically with the government doing the actual censorship, in which that is not happening. Like Dave Chappelle is still rich. Dave Chappelle still can do comedy. If Netflix pull all his specials tomorrow, he can still go on tour, and millions of people will come out and watch him and support what he says. If he set up his website and did like a live stream or he can still get his stuff out to his audience and not be hurting. Same goes with Kevin Hart. Same goes for anybody that's complaining about it. You can't say anything nowadays. Like y'all be fine. Like you can't technically cancel rich people. You can make them uncomfortable, maybe make it and maybe get on their nerves a bit, but you can't totally like get rid of somebody who has that much money, because they have the resources out. They have the resources to withstand that. And so I think people are taking like any sort of criticism or as oh, they're trying to cancel me. No, it's like you have a platform, a huge platform, and you have millions of people who are paying attention to you. Some of those people love what you do, and some of those people don't like what you do. And people that don't like what you do, are going to criticize you for the things that they don't like about what you're doing, even though some of them may have actually been fans of yours before. And so the difference now and say 30 years ago is that the people who didn't like you didn't have as much of a didn't have as easy an access to you as they do now. 30 years ago, if you didn't like something that a comedian said on stage, maybe you could write a letter to the editor at your local paper, or organize like a protest that maybe the news will cover it at a concert or something like that, if that much. But now, if you see something, immediately you can gather online and write up a quick think piece, or directly at somebody on Twitter or whatever. The criticism is right there at I think in front of celebrities' faces in a way that it maybe wouldn't have been in previous eras. So. And that's, of course, yeah, there's some people who maybe live to be outraged and like some else. I'm gonna get you in a minute. This whole AK thing with Insecure, we're gonna get to that in a second after this video. So there's let's say things that I'm like, it's a reach, but when it's actually like, legitimate, it needs to be a distinction between legitimate criticism and just someone who doesn't like you saying, well, I don't think anybody should like them. That's two different things. And also needs to be different between knowing your own line when not to support somebody anymore, but also balancing, but also acknowledging that people are messy. Anybody that's in the public eye for decades is gonna have some mess attached to them, some flaws, some complications, some things they did that you kind of look at them sideways for. Anybody, to varying degrees. There's a big difference between, say, Beyonce and R. Kelly. Like, you're not like Beyonce for some things that maybe she's done here and there, but there's a huge difference between that and a decades-long pattern of criminal behavior, which needs to be that's counsel worthy. So yeah, but yeah, so that all that wrapped up in that little spiral went down into talking about cancel culture and everything else. But yeah, so I think people are using that as a scapegoat. It's like, oh, we're trying to cancel me, but no, you may just be getting criticized, and you just live in your little bubble where you see everybody like loving everything you do, and all people that talk to you, all the celebrities that are always rich in their bubble, and so when that gets pierced, you get all like, ugh. But anywho, let's get into our first video of the night. This is my video with Day Night. This is when we film back here in the summertime, but we can still get it up there in the cool winter, semi-winter time. We still in fall, but either way, still a pop. This is me featuring Day Night. This is Super Cow Swagalistic. So that's me and Day Night with Super Cow Swagalistic. Let's get into that one.
Up with every place to go. Face beat off the frame, those painted lashes lay. Neon jacket with the matching boots, laced by sweet girl who strings 22 dozen inches of extensions for your love. I'm feeling super good, swagalistic. So sick in you make no sense. I'm feeling super good, swagalistic. Been crawling up the walls, it's time to ball. Dance was the solution to all this inclusion. Nails looking sharper than a handsaw sword. Bossy and flossy's a movie on, and I grant 'cause you can't duplicate, but hey, go on. I'm feeling super good, swagalistic. So sick in you make no sense. I'm feeling super good, swagalistic. Coming through like drip, 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 drip. I'm feeling super good, swagalistic. So sick in you make no sense. I'm feeling super good, swagalistic. Coming through like drip, 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 drip.
Swag so sick, might as well call the doctor. Popping this bitch, nigga, yeah, I'm really proper. Floss for a nigga, why they wanna talk they got her. I'm drip, 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 hotter than lava. I'm the vibe, I keep my dress outside twisted. Cause I'm kinda drippin', ooh. I just asked your bitch, but guess I'm big pimpin'. Don't step to me behind your thotty. Cause I'm not tryna catch your body. I can't pop bottles where Afro Sensei dropping the boat, got the girls in the city. Open the back cause they know they rent pay. The BGC like it ain't no game. No fakes, no fronts, no time for lanes. Super Cali swagger, listen, sissy. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling super good, swagalistic. So sick in you make no sense. I'm feeling super good, swagalistic. Coming through like drip, 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 drip. I'm feeling super good, swagalistic. So sick in you don't make no sense. I'm feeling super good, swagalistic. Coming through like drip, 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 drip.
All right, and that was my video for Super Cow Swagalistic featuring Day Night. Like I said before, from that right here in the room next door, actually. Put up some wallpaper, put up some gold curtains and door beads, and boom, it's 1975. That song was actually on BGC. Like I said, album is out now. I'm getting to remixes out as well. It's been out for a few months. Actually got a few more remixes that people have done for me. This should be on the remix EP that'll be coming out early next year. So, look forward to more swagalistic goodness. But getting back into, like I said, I guess continue with the theme of you know, cancellation, controversy, all that stuff. Now, if you watch Insecure or been watching the final season so far, in the first episode, there was a reunion at their alma mater, Stanford, and during that reunion, one of the characters, Tiffany, played by Amanda Seals, played she plays somebody who plays AKA, which now when you're D9. The AKAs are one of the sororities of the Divine Nine, and they wear she calls it pink and green. It's very uh, held in very high esteem. As far as Greek organizations go, and she wore the crest and the letters, and apparently that infuriated a lot of people online, a lot of AKAs. And now apparently, this is according to BET, aka Alpha Kappa Alpha, which is AKAs, director is reportedly seeking legal action against Insecure after the series season debut featured characters wearing clothes featuring the sorority's logo and colors. Sparked backlash from members of AKA on Twitter, who tweeted their displeasure of the fictional portrayal of the sorority. According to Black Enterprise, so Executive Director Cynthia D. Howard said in a statement that she is taking steps to protect our brand. We were made aware of the unauthorized use of a brand HBO show Insecure yesterday morning, which is October 25th, and are taking steps to protect our brand. She added, please allow the corporate office to handle this matter. We all do to protect our brand. You can do your part by refraining from engaging with anyone involved with the show or with anyone, including other sorors, on social media about this matter. Thank you for your continued assistance and cooperation. Okay, so, and then also, she quoted Amanda Seals. She plays Tiffany Dubois. She says that, I don't know why people keep asking me if I'm a soror. I'm not a soror. Tiffany is a soror. Tiffany is a character on a TV show. I didn't write the character. I played the character. I'm not a soror. I'm an actress, and I'm playing a character on a TV show. So yeah, my take. Okay, so first, if in fact HBO did not clear the use of the AK's materials, which are trademarked, then that is a problem, and they should deal with whatever legal fault they should that happens with that, because that's unauthorized usage. That said, I do agree with Amanda Seals that it's not real. Now, granted, I didn't play as a Greek in college. I have maybe 2 family members that are Greek that I know of. It wasn't a thing with me growing up. Like not with my parents in it or in a fraternity or sorority. It just wasn't a thing. So, but I'm aware of the importance of it. I'm aware of the social connections and aware of how they've been involved in the communities and the history and all that. That's great. But again, it's a TV show, and it's been known that both Amanda Seals' character Tiffany and Yvonne Orji's character Molly have been AKA since the first season. Like in the first, I think Molly's been drinking out. They showed Molly drinking out an AKA cup. They've always advertised the fact that they played just sorority. So it's not like they just started. The association and now people are like, oh wait, she's AKA. Like it's been a thing since the first season. I think it's maybe the first time she wore the crest and the logo. I believe it's what it's called, the crest and the logo. That may be the first time for that. But that's just about it. But again, it's like it's fiction. So if the character is AKA, then she's gonna wear the AKA crest and she's gonna wear the AKA colors of pink and green. It's like I don't quite like I can't quite make it to the promised land of rage with you on this one, because it's just like, and also the way that she's been portrayed, Tiffany and Molly, they're both flawed characters, but they're otherwise good people, for lack of a better word. Like Tiffany's mom, Tiffany's upwardly mobile, she's educated, she's she that type of woman would be AKA in real life. Like I know enough to know that that her and Molly fit the profile of AKA. And plus, if anybody should be offended, it should be the Q dogs. Let me not do it. It should be the Q dogs. It should be the maids, because they said on the show that the party smell like ass, and like I ain't hear near Q dogs saying what because they rowdy. But so if anybody should be offended, it should be them, not the AKAs. But here we are. So yeah, I don't get it totally. I don't understand the outrage of, like, again, because this is fiction. Like I understand that the bar. Well, I don't fully understand it because I didn't do it, but I know that for a lot of people that they like crossing the line and going all and doing all the things you have to do in order to become a member of the fraternity or a sorority. It bonds you with the people that you crossed with, And I kind of can understand that as far as like being a part of a team or being part of an organization that you hold, very close to you. But again, it's not real. This isn't Amanda Seals going on one of her live videos or coming out say, wearing the colors or wearing the paraphernalia and not being a member. It's like this is the character, and the character's an AKA, so of course she would wear it. You know, so I don't know. You know, what y'all think? To me, it just it just doesn't quite compute. So who knows? I don't know. But yeah, insecure, guaranteed to generate Twitter conversations. So, oh yeah, it could have been clearly easily. Yeah, I think, I wonder, was it really authorized or because I mean this is HBO, I a company that big and dealing with that many potential legal landmines, like they usually dot their T's and cross. They usually dot their I's and cross their T's. To get my phrasing right. So I'm kind of doubtful that they wouldn't have checked to see if can we do this and can we use this? Like it doesn't. Maybe things slip through the cracks. You never know. But but that much legal power at their disposal, I would think that they would have checked on that. I think, but you never, who knows? Because I don't know if I can't say if white Greek organizations take their paraphernalia that seriously. Maybe that could have been a cultural thing that they like. I don't know. Maybe that won't be a big deal, but I don't know. We'll see. I guess how that pans out as far as with everything. So, but yeah. So, but as far as the season of Insecure, I think it's going. I like it so far. I think the second episode, I feel like it went really, really fast for some reason. If you're watching, I mean they're all 30 minutes, so of course it goes by pretty like that. But for some reason I feel like they were all like zoom, like hyper speed. But yeah. Anyway, hope I guess maybe the next controversy won't be Greek related and just be about Condola and her baby or whoever the names people call her now. Connecculon or convalescence. I don't know. But yeah, so that happened anyway. It was also other Netflix news. I said, actually in other TV news, I still haven't watched Queen. I'm sorry, I haven't watched Queens yet. I'm gonna get to it. I'll get to it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna catch up. I've heard it's great. I've heard great things. I've seen several posts posted online about the rap battle between Eve's character and Brandy's character, and it seemed like it got real, or it's real within the context of the TV show. So I'm gonna get to it. I'm getting there. But meanwhile, I was watching the Colin Kaepernick series. I think in Black and White, I believe is the name of it, which is was directed by Ava DuVernay and collaborated with Colin. And it basically it's sort of like, to me, it's like it's like a coming of age story a la Wonder Years meets social activism in a way, because basically it shows his high school years, from pretty much freshman year to senior year, and him being like a 3-sport athlete and going through normal teenage things, wanting to ask somebody out to the dance, and want to try to fit in and get his hair braided or whatever and things like that, but at the same time dealing with the growing sort of awareness of injustice and racism, and really not having anybody really talk to about that, because he was adopted by 2 white parents, which the way they're portrayed is like they mean well, but they're pretty much clueless, and sometimes they reinforce the racism or the bias. Because in the first episode, he wants to get his hair braided because his friend has his hair braided, and his friend hooks him up, and he goes over to the neighborhood in some girl's house, as I did when I was 15, 16, and she she braids his hair, and and he of course likes it, and his hair is on fire because it's the first time you get the hair braided. He's probably tender headed, and then but his mama, like, it's like they did a really good job of like a slow burn. Like she first she's kind of like annoyed of like, we didn't know where you were. He said, well, I left a note, and then she's like looking around like, okay, well, you went to somebody's house to get your hair done, and then it's like we'll take you to a professional salon, which he had, well, they go to the salon, and then he gets his hair braided, and then you know, of course, having two white parents, doesn't know anything about hair products, doesn't know anything about do rags, doesn't know anything about know how to maintain the hair, so the braids start to look toe up. So he goes back, and then he actually goes over to his stylist's house, her and her girlfriend actually, so double representation. And so and then his mom takes him, and then you could just again like he just sits on the floor, and like um they offer him food to eat, and like he doesn't have to season it, like he has to season their food, which is like oops shade. And then she turns on the TV, and it's just like a ludicrous video playing, like I got hoes and different area codes. Like his mom just all taking in, like, and at one point she asks him before they go in the house, like when is it gonna stop? And he's like, what do you mean, like my hair? And she means like and then she's like everything, and it's just like like little moments like that. I think the series captures it really well, like just kind of showing like like I said, they're good, well-intentioned people, but they just don't know. They didn't know. I'm assuming they kind of know better now, but they just didn't know, and so the series captures moments like that. Overall, for me watching it, I would say that it wasn't so much. I mean, I got an insight into his perspective, because, like I said, when he went into that store, it was like a combination, like clothing store / barbershop in the back, and when he went in, it was like he went like promised land, black folks. But for me, it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a Tuesday. Go in the store, see the food booth, see the Echo, the South Pole, barbershop in the back. That part of it was insight to me into his experience, but and then but for the most part throughout the series, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I remember that, yeah, been through that, yeah, got followed by that person, yeah, just enough checking off boxes of like microaggressions and caucasity. So yeah, but I would recommend it. I don't know if they're gonna do another. It is a limited series, so I don't know if they're gonna do like a season 2. But it was interesting. The one thing that did a slight spoiler. One thing that did feel like a reach to me was in one episode. He talks about the NFL Combine, which is Combine is when they all go out in college, they try out, and they show the coaches what they can do so they can, like I said, improve their draft prospects. He compares that the way they sort of size them up and see who runs the fastest and who's the strongest and who's the biggest. He compares that to like a slave auction, to slaves being on the auction block, which I get that people size you up in that way and sort of treating like a piece of meat isn't the most liberating thing. To use, I guess, for lack of a better word. But I don't know if I would. I don't know if the connection to slave auction quite tracks, because it's like, yeah, it's kind of gross the way they're sizing you up, but you are choosing to go to the combine, and if you make it through to the NFL, you are working a job that can potentially pay you tens of millions of dollars. It's not quite the same as being ripped from your homeland and being whipped and stripped of your culture and language and sold off and being separated from your wife and children. It's not quite that. I wouldn't quite make that connection to me. That's the one part where I feel like, man, that's a bit of a reach. Not that the NFL is so stellar on race relations, but I wouldn't quite. Didn't feel that cut and dry to me to make that comparison. But aside from that, it's a great show. It really shows his own personal journey, and it kind of it does, for the most part, does a good job of like showing his personal journey and also showing it in a wider social societal level, why he has to deal with the things he deals with, and as a teenager, and how that impacted him and into the man he currently is now. So yeah, good show. If I recommend it if you want to pull it up and watch it on Netflix, about 6 episodes. So it's a quick watch. So you can probably binge it in the afternoon if you want to. So let's get into our second video of the night. This is ours that came across, I believe, on Top 40 Weekly, which is a IG page that features LGBT artist videos and songs and playlists and things like that. It features a few of my songs as well, so shout out to them. This is Brivdon, I hope I said his name correctly, but Brvndon if you want to look him up. And this track is called Drown. So let's get into that. This is Brevin with Drown.
got the potion, baby. I think I like it, like it. Deep in your ocean, baby. I'ma go diving, diving. I don't wanna let you go. I need you now more than ever. Come let it overflow. And I'ma test your levels. I'ma go down. When it go down, put it down like making no sounds. Make me go drown when I'm down like you got that wet, wet, baby. After we done, I'm mopping. Give me that good neck, baby. Round two, it ain't no stopping. We ain't gotta go nowhere. Let me change the positions. Get it hot like kitchens. Early start late finish. I'ma go down. When it go down, put it down like making no sounds. Make me go drown, put it down like you. And only you got what I want. Ooh, hey baby, come and put it on me. This love ain't gon' be waiting long. I need for you to take it overboard. Roll your boat gently up the stream. If you need them backstrokes, baby, you can call on me. Roll your boat gently up the stream. If you need them backstrokes, baby, you can call on me. Roll your boat gently up the stream. If you need them backstrokes, baby, you can call on me. You can call on me. Call on me. I said you can call on me. You can call on me.
All right, and I was brave them with Drown. Gives into a few facts about him. He's a new R&B trap artist, and he's making big waves. He also got this is from he has a new project called Loading. He's also has a song called Focus featuring Sinatris. He also has a song called Zone, Drunken Banter, and Available. It's all signature vibes from his sound. So smooth out, some smooth R&B feel, gets trap influences as well. He has a song called I Admit, Dripping, and Hydro, which is more hip hop on the hip hop side of things. So you can check him out. He's on Instagram. His handle is 312 BRVNDON. That's 312 BRVNDON. And the name of that song was Drown. So, nice bop, like that, sort of a little PG-13 version of Roll Your Boat. A little nursery rhyme for, adults or, and things like that. So yeah, that's a good bop. No, catchy one. So I approve, obviously. Let's see what else we can get into our headlines. Actually, this is something that I didn't expect to see, but I do want to see it. Apparently, Janet Jackson's Super Bowl scandal is set to be the latest New York Times documentary for FX and Hulu. I think this is like the same. Should be the same organizations that put together the Britney Spears documentary about sort of her rise and then her tough time she's had in the conservatorship and all things like that. So this is from Deadline.com. This FX and Hulu are moving from Britney Spears, Janet Jackson with the latest documentary. The Cable Network and streamer set to launch Malfunction, Dressing Down Janet Jackson. Fantastic title. On November 19th. So that's coming up pretty soon, actually. The film will tell the story of the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show, which saw Justin Timberlake briefly expose Janet Jackson's breast to millions of viewers. Jackson's career never recovered, but Timberlake went from strength to strength. The doc will examine the racial and cultural occurrence that collided with the Super Bowl stage and explores how the incident impacted one of the most successful pop musicians in history. It also featured rare footage and interviews with several people who were at the controls that night in Houston, including NFL and MTV executives, to reconstruct an incident that shook the country and explain how it shaped culture in the decades that follow. With new reporting by the Times, as well as insights from the music industry insiders, cultural critics, and members of the Jackson family, the film illuminates the fallout and CBS boss Les Moonves' role in it. It's directed by Jordy Gomes, who also produced The Jacksons: A Family Dynasty. It comes after, of course, Framing Britney Spears, and also that was followed by Controlling Britney Spears, but I didn't know about that one. I definitely give it a look. I liked the no, she didn't like it, but I thought the Freeman Britney Spears was pretty insightful. So if it's the same team, I think this one could be insightful as well. I hope that they would invite Janet to say her piece, because I mean she's the one that actually happened too. I know she has her documentary coming out in January on A&E about sort of her life and kind of, I guess, her whole life and career. She obviously she'll probably talk about the Super Bowl in that documentary, but hopefully invite her to talk about it on this as well. Because you think about it, it did definitely change things, because that moment was so like so I remember watching it. I remember this happening so fast. Nobody was like, and it was like, so like, what happened? Because the cameras were not like shoot quick after it happened. Then of course, the phrase wardrobe malfunction entered our lexicon, has never left, like receipts. Shout out to Whitney. And so yeah, it definitely changed the nature of like live broadcasting, and certainly it impacted her career unfairly, because Let's Move basically was like ruined her. And then of course the Mia Joy album just didn't get the love it deserved, and then 20YO struggled and sort of discipline, and she really didn't start to get come back, and at least as far as mainstream, because I don't think her core audience, i.e. Black folks, ever really abandoned her. But I think that she definitely hurt on the mainstream level. She didn't start to come back until, I'd say, 2015, probably around last time she released the album, around Unbreakable 2015, and she went back on tour, and I think public opinion started to kind of shift. Probably Me Too probably helped that, and reevaluate past things. And then also she got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and so I think things started to really turn around the last couple of years. People have really reevaluated what it was about, because you think about it, I think, as she said at the time, when she was performing to Meet the Joe, was like, she basically was saying, like, the rest of the world, like Europe and everywhere else, were like, oh, y'all talking about that? Y'all still outraged by a nipple? The rest of the world kind of moved on, but U.S., we were, on the one hand, we're obsessed with sex, but on the one hand, we want to pretend we're not obsessed with sex, and so, it's just spiraled, out of control, and then, yeah, what happened. But this definitely sounds interesting. It definitely could be a good watch. Let's say great title, Malfunction, and just looking at how it did really hurt her career for a very long time. How she she survived it, but still you kind of think of like what could have been in terms of like the success of that album, and maybe the follow-ups, and what direction maybe her career going, had she not had to really have to deal with that, the fallout from that. Meanwhile, like I said, Justin has continued to rise and rise and rise. And of course, now he's been sort of reevaluated as well. So yeah, but that is airing on, I think the last one aired on FX, so this one probably will be on FX as well. And of course, it would probably be on Hulu as well if you want to check that one out. So and then so let's get into our next song of the night. This one was more of like, so I switched in mood. This was like more of a upbeat pop jam, but the video definitely has a little some surprises in there. If you'll catch. Another artist I discovered, I think this is through Q Reviews, which is another great site on Instagram. This is Chaz Cardigan with "We Look So Good." So let's get to that one. This is Chaz Cardigan with "We Look So Good."
The war on drugs was a tactic to fill up private prisons, but you already knew that.
Hey baby, say what's on your mind. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. We're jumping from a plane and falling into space. I guess that we're in love. You could leave anytime, but I ask you to stay. I can leave if I want, yeah, that's what you say. But I don't walk out, I stick around.
Why are our laws fundamentally designed to protect the rights of rich criminals?
We look so good together. We look so good together. I mean, if it looks so good on paper, I'm gonna stay until on paper. I'm gonna stay until it feels right.
The United States has 800 military bases all over the planet, but no other country has a military base here.
We bought a house, we're paying off. I turn you on and you turn off. My friends are all your friends. Well, what do you expect? I guess we're growing up. You could leave anytime, but I ask you to stay. I can leave if I want, yeah, that's what you say. But please don't walk out. I won't let you down, 'cause we look so good together. We look so good together. I mean, if it looks so good on paper, I'm gonna stay until it feels right. We look so good together. We look so good together. I mean, if it looks so good on paper, I'm gonna stay until it feels right. It don't feel right right now. We look so good together. We look so good together. I mean, if it looks so good on paper, I'm gonna stay until it feels right. We look so good together. We look so good together. I mean, if it looks so good on paper, I'm gonna stay until it feels right. It feels right.
And that was Chaz Cardigan. We look so good. You know, told you had a little surprises in it. You know, little you think you're doing a little pop jamming up. Here's a fact about prison system. Up. Here's the truth about how we protect rich folks. Up. You know, so that's you know, I like how you kind of just sprinkled random truths in there in the middle of like a a bop. But a few facts about Chaz. He's based in Los Angeles. He's also a songwriter, producer, and multi-instrumentalist. Instrumentalist. There we go. He writes alternative rock bops, as we just heard with Bite, and just as we just saw, and backbone for those carefree moments when we want to forget our differences, yet provocative enough to push us towards the solutions we need. He started playing guitar as a kid. He's inspired by Nirvana. He played in punk bands. He also before into music, he taught himself production. He played at Louisville bars, open mics, all kinds of parties. He relocated to Nashville. He went to produce for the hip hop collective The DJTRAKQUEEN, and he dropped his independent debut, in 2017. After that, he released more singles, more EPs. He had a web series actually. He also landed a major label record deal, and he went on to perform more and more. In 2020 and last year, he got a top 15 alternative radio hit with "Not Okay," and that's the song title. And contributed "As I Ever Be" to the Netflix film "To All the Boys." P.S. I Still Love You, which is awesome, which is so far got about 3.2 million views, so plays. So good for him. So you can check him out on Instagram. I think his handle is the same. It's pretty much his name. See, yeah, you can check him out at Chaz Cardigan on IG. Really bright, colorful pop, just like as the video illustrated. So it's a good one. Let's see what he does next. Yeah, definitely has like a 80s vibe to it. Hydrate. Definitely has an 80s vibe to it, a retro style to it, and also just the bright primary colors and everything else. Yeah, definitely has that vibe to it. Let's see. Let's get back into some headlines, shall we? Now, if you've been starved and thirsty for some new Rihanna music, you're still gonna be parched. But in the meantime, Riri has announced an epic catalog-spanning vinyl collection dubbed the Reissue. For that pun, spelled RIH issue. So there you get into that. This is from Love B. Scott. He says, Rihanna fans rejoice. She's turning her attention back to music, at least briefly. Not music, at least, but it's a start. The pop icon announced a career-spanning limited edition vinyl collection today. the ship date for all the reissues is November 11th. So it's pretty much coming pretty soon, actually, next week. She's basically let's see, we can down just a little bit. According to the press release, the collection offers a quote special limited edition packaging of the first 8 albums with vinyl records that have been repressed and unique colorways and paired with album-specific exclusive apparel items. Each set comes carefully enclosed in packaging curated by Rihanna and will be a must-have addition to any record collection. So, and then I've seen a few of them. Like a few of them have like the off of the album, and different merch, T-shirts, things like that. So, would I be buying it? Probably not, because I don't have I don't have a record player, so I'm not gonna play them. But I guess even with collector's items, I don't know. I mean, of course you could just just buy them just to have them, but I don't know if I don't know, because when I buy, like, especially when some music related, like I buy an album when I usually want to play the album. Rather than just having it be a collector's item. Like some of the packaging does look really, really nice if you want to look it up. Some of the merch is probably really great as well, and just little goodies and things they add into it. But I don't know if I want it bad enough to spend for vinyl. That's just me. I don't know. So like when they have those memorabilia auctions, like they auction off outfits that people wore on stage and like that. It's like I get it as a fan, but like I don't know if I would ever buy it, because it's like if I bought an outfit from one of Jan's videos, like, okay, I got the outfit, but I'm not gonna wear it because I can't fit it. And if I wear it, I'm gonna destroy it, and it won't be worth anything. So, but to each their own. Like I said, we're still parched for new Rihanna music. So we don't have any of that yet. But in the meantime, there's vinyl, so there's that. So that's all. I guess it's semi good, I guess. But we take what we can from Riri. So, anywho, but other news. Get into that before we get to our next video. Now, if you're unaware, Sister Act 3 is officially in development with Disney Plus, Whoopi's back, but it's also being produced by Tyler Perry and directed by Tyler Perry. He revealed the news saying he thought the feel-good flick would be just what the country needs. This again is from B. Scott. It says serious progress is being made on the movie as the script is being written, and Tim Frederick is assigned to direct. He's not directing, he's producing. I said we need that feel-good moment in the movies where you go, oh my God, look, they're singing, that's my hope. Perry said of the project. No production deals have been publicly announced by Disney, which is probably gonna be released on Disney Plus is what the plan is probably. Whoopi says she's excited to reprise her role as Dolores Van Cartier. And she revealed it was in the works last year, but now it's coming back. So, could be good, I guess. I've made my feelings about Tyler and his output known on more than one occasion. I fear for the wigs. Among other things. But my fears could be tempered by the fact that, according to this other article in Shadow and Act, Tyler Perry's plan is to relinquish a lot more control to directors and writers to take over some of his shows. So, woo! All right. But anywho, let's read the headline. Tyler Perry appears to be ready to invite others into his writer's room. He, in an interview with a Hollywood Reporter, he said he's willing to bring in writers and directors to help him work on his plethora of TV shows. And here's a quote from him. My plan is to relinquish to a lot more directors and writers to take over a lot of these shows that I've started. He said he will be the volume guy, quote unquote, man behind cranking out all his series solo for about three or four more years. So that may not apply to the Sister Act 3, but we'll see. There's going to be a lot more of me overseeing rather than doing the hands-on work, he continued. For the past 6 weeks, I was in the mountains. Then he talks about how in the past 6 weeks he was in the mountains writing about 72 episodes of television, nonstop writing. As he's done on other shows, like I think on one show, Bruh, he wrote the whole series. I think he wrote the whole series. I think they shot it like in 19 days, the whole season, and like a long season too. You look it up. He says, while a representative for Perry has commented last year about Perry leaning towards hiring writers, this is the first time Perry himself has talked about handing over the writing agreements to other people. So yeah. obviously I'm in favor. I'm in favor of this. Is my if the raised roof wasn't enough of a reaction to let you know. Yeah, because I just think, you know, it's good that, I mean, for anybody, not just Tyler, but it's good for anybody to have I'm not saying someone writing solo can't work, because I think Michaela Cole, if I pronounced the name correctly, who did I May Destroy You, I think she wrote that pretty much solo. I'm not saying it can't work, but it is good at some point to have a sounding board, you know, when you're writing something. Just someone who from outside who is a writer themselves, or just is knowledgeable about writing and storytelling, is to be like, okay, well, that part works, but I'm not sure about this part. I'm sure that don't work as well. You know, it's good to have that you know, a little bit of that, and even just if you're, you know, writing shows about, like, show Sisters, for example, you know, shows about women in their 30s when you're not a woman in her 30s. It's like, you know, it may be good to have some other voices in the room to, like, you know, give us some authenticity that you may be missing, even though you know, obviously care about Black folks and love, you know, write movies about Black women. It's just still, you know, it could help to have some actual Black women in the room. But yeah, so I'm in favor of this. It may take another 3-4 years, but, you know, I would like to see if with his role changing, how that affects his output, and how that, you know, maybe it affects the type of movies that he makes and things like that. Oh yeah, he's the head of, he can't do anything more. He's the head of the studio, so he doesn't have time to, like, go in the mountains and write, you know, 72 episodes of television. You know, they probably was shooting 5 days. Just, you know, but yeah, he doesn't have the time to do it. So he has to turn over some control to someone else, so to other people. Which and on being totally positive, yeah, this does provide opportunities for, you know, up and coming writers, or for, you know, people who want to break into the industry. So that's a good thing. You know, it can give more people will give more people opportunities behind the camera in different rooms, different areas of the business. So that's good news. Hopefully no more travel dances up for no reason, but, you know, we shall see. Anywho. All right, so let's get into our next video of the night. This is a video. I'm trying to think. I think this on the top 40 weekly as well, or the top 40 as well. This is a video by an artist named Devin, and the name of the song is called "Cash That," which, you know, the up tempo more of a bop. So let's get into that now. This is Devin, and this is "Cash That."
JSYK Radio.
Good morning, and it is an early day here in the studio. You're listening to JSYK Radio. I am your host, Ali Khan, along with my co-host, DJ Amore. And that was No Regrets playing for you this beautiful day.
You know what? We have some big news today to talk about.
What kind of big news you got going on? I run the show, you're bringing in the big news?
Yeah.
It's some pretty big news. But before we get into that, let's check out the newest single by Devin, Cash That.
Let's hear it.
We'll talk about that big news.
Yo. Y'all ready? Let's go. Bounce that ass like a bad check. Throw a couple hundred on there, you can cash that. I like big bills, not cheap thrills. Don't be fucking on my bag, bitch, I came to kill. Cash that, 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 and run it back, and run it back, 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 run it back. Look, I got a cute face like a dollar bill. If you got a dollar, holler, we can make a deal. Cute stacks, thick racks, doing big things. So I don't want your loose lips, so you lose string. I'm moving up, give me space like a rocket. Haters playing tag, but they mad cause they not it. So slip it in my sock like you're making a deposit. And back it up, flip it, and bump it down and drop it. Bounce Bounce that ass like a bad check. Throw a couple hundred on it, you can cash that. I like big bills, not cheap thrills. Don't be fucking up my bag, bitch, I came to kill. Cash that, 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 and run it back, 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 run it back.
I did it. Oh, that's all right. So here's a story. A guy walks into a bank and cashes a bag check for $83,000 and then just disappears. I don't understand. Why $83,000?
Man, that's kind of a weird number. You know, I'd probably go for like 100,000.
Exactly, like round up, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Then he just bounced.
Disappears out of thin air. I don't get it. I don't
Hold on,
understand.
David Copperfield.
David Copperfield.
Man.
Tick tock, money on my mind. I keep a handful of hustle and a pocket full of grind. With a rich boy fit, everything designed, and a rollie on my wrist, but I don't got time. If you ain't got money, you think it's hella cute, but ain't a damn thing funny. Kiss me, squeeze me, pay my bills, and I know you really love me. If you leave me, you will. Roses are red, money is green. When it comes to Benjis, I guess I'm a fiend. I buy so much shit that I don't even need. Clear all your racks, living life a high demand with no regrets. Don't work out, but I still know how to flex. I'm like a fever cause I make your body sweating. When you throw that ass back, I'ma write you a check. Like bounce that ass like a bad check. Throw a couple hundred on it, you can cash that. I like big bills, not cheap thrills. Don't be fucking on my bag, bitch, I came to kill. Cash that, 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 and run it back, and run it back, 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 run it back.
Hey yo, it's your boy Devin. I'm sorry I'm not in to answer the phone right now. I'm either on the other line or just away from the phone, maybe even in a foreign country or something. If you leave your name, number, and a voicemail, I might try to think about getting back to you.
Hello, this is Susan with Penny Bank. I'm calling to let you know that your account is $83,000 overdrawn. We haven't been able to get in contact for about 4 months now, so if you could give me a call back.
This is Kyle calling with Capital Credit, and in case you were not aware, all 4 of your credit cards are now maxed out, and we haven't received payment in over 8 months. So please contact us ASAP, or we gon' find that ass. We gon' bust a cap in your ass. Thank you, and have a super day.
All right, and that was Devin with Cash That. Run it back, run it back, run it back, run it back. You know, definitely a vibe because different see that playing in the club and everybody, you know, doing various J-set dances, getting their life, you know, if you know, in various different ways. A few facts about Devin. Whole name Devin Collins. He currently based in Los Angeles because this is He's also appeared in TV. He's filmed in film and music video productions for artists like Tasha Paul, Ben Affleck, Ariana Grande, 2 Chainz, and more. He also co-founded and participated in Echo vs. America, Echo 5's America's first openly gay boy band. His hometown was Tampa, Florida, where he performed as actor, dancer, and singer, acrobat, and stilt walker. At local theme parks, he was chosen to make his mark. He trained in musical theater and when he was in elementary school. He formed a group Sonny La Rosa and America's youngest jazz band. He also toured the country as a jazz big band singer and musician. Between 9 and 14, he opened for artists like Shaka Khan, Dionne Warwick, Nancy Wilson, Roberta Flack, Al Jarreau. So, you know, quite the resume, so far. If you look him up online, his handle on Instagram is Big Black Devin. So look him on Instagram, Big Black Devin, and follow him and see what he's up to and what he comes up with next. And so, should be exciting. So again, that was Devin with Cash That. Now, again, quick news item before we get into our next video, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, Atlanta, Donald Glover, who was of course created Atlanta, he dropped a new teaser for season 3. He tweeted Happy Halloween. It was linked to Gilga.com, which is a video of the teaser, but it's been taken down now, but you can find it on YouTube. The teaser has lots of shots taken out of context, including the alleyway and the sign in Hungarian. The only character from the show you see is Paperboy, which is played by Brian Tyree Henry. Basically, it's like a shot of him closing in on him with a man and woman in the background facing the wall. It's one shot that you see of him. He also sent out a series of tweets about the season, calling on people who compare Atlanta to FX's Dave, which I've never watched Dave, so I can't, compare and contrast. But from what I've seen, for clips I've seen, it's definitely like, musician's life with surrealist vibes. Is what I got from the little short I've watched. But and so of course initially Atlanta was supposed to come back, I think in like 2019, I believe, or 2020, but then of course 2020 got delayed. 2020 delayed everything, but so now seasons 3 and 4 have been filmed back to back. Season 3 was filmed mostly in Europe, so that could be interesting, different than in a different country. Now I've watched the trailer probably about 3 or 4 times, and I have no idea what the fuck it means. I'm not even gonna pretend to pontificate and to be like, oh, it means I have no fucking idea. But I'm gonna watch because I love Atlanta. I mean, if I had to guess something from the clips, it just feels like because I think there's a song going on in the background of the trailer. I think it's like this is the end of the world, or something referring to the end of the world. And of course in the clip, Paperboy doesn't look happy, looks kind of stressed, or worried or tense about something. So maybe it's about disorienting nature of becoming successful, or excess, or things falling apart, or it's possibly some reference to that. Because you remember at the end of the second season, like I said, they were going on tour in Europe, and it seemed like and Ern was kind of barely holding on as far as like still being his manager, but he managed to no pun intended, just to stick around to the end of the season and not be fired. And it seemed like this way they portrayed it was like the come up was about to end, and he was about to really start to kind of rise up and be a star. And so if that's the case, then when that happens, then things can still get weird, but it ends in a different way. When the struggle kind of ends in terms of money, then more money, more problems, to quote B.I.G. So it could possibly be that. It could be just them being in a foreign country on a different continent and just being fishes out of water. That could be a different thing. It could be anything. I don't know. And I won't know until 2022, which is like I wish it was this Sunday, but so who knows? If you want to pull it up and look at it and analyze it and see what and have your interpretation, it's still online right now as far as I know. Just type in Atlanta season 3 trailer and you can guess at it. But I'm not gonna pretend I got it figured out, because I really don't. And season 2 was kind of dark, and if that's an indicator, season 3 could be seem like it could be as dark in its own way. So who knows? So we shall see once 2022 rolls around. What else before we get to our next thing? Really quick, and then we'll get to the next video. Remember last show I talked about how the novel B-Boy Blues is being made into a film, being produced by Jussie Smollett, and also I think executive produced by Samson McCormick, the comedian. The official trailer has been released this week. I would encourage you to go look at it, because it's really beautiful. It's really well shot, and just everything, the lighting, the music, it looks really great. It reminds me a little bit of, I haven't watched the whole movie, but I've seen enough of it. It reminds me a little bit of Beale Street, that was directed by the same person that directed Moonlight. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I just lost it. But it has that kind of feel to it to me. Lettucey's in it, the singers, I said in the last episode, and you see some cameos from folks that you will recognize. And so, I would encourage you check that out really quick. I'm sure it's on YouTube. It's B-Boy Blues, the trailer. I don't think it said when it was coming out. I'm thinking it's probably more on the indie side that probably be like at Sundance or one of the film, or make it like the festival rounds first, and then it'll probably be released on streaming. I hope it does, because I doubt it's coming here. I mean, I was shocked when Moonlight came to this town. So, I think it'll probably end up being on, first the festival circuit, then the streaming services. So, but I would encourage you to go, look at it and check it out after the show. Let's get into our next video of the night. This is a song this is a group coming across on, I think, the Q Reviews. Real high energy, lots of in your face attitude. Up tempo, kind of a different, more of a rock vibe. This is Dream Nails, and this is their song They Them. So this is Dream Nails, and this is their song They Them.
Tired of looking like SpongeBob SquarePants? Does lumpy and bumpy describe your hip pads? Are your hips serving Christmas dinner? Are you paying too much for crusty old couch cushions? DragonABudget.com has the answer. Hashtag Body by Dementia. Body by Dementia. Body by Dementia. The #1 hip pads and stuffed bra seller on your neighbor's internet. Our hips come in 3 sizes. Small for a subtle look, medium for a more curvy option, and our custom size for those that need a more precise fit. Go to DragonABudget.com and order yours today. DragonABudget.com, the one-stop shop for all your drag needs. For queens, kings, and everyone in between. Since 1915. Shit, I mean 1925? 2015.
Body by Dementia, your pads look like trash.
Welcome back, and that was Dream Nails Band with They Them, as they shouted so lovingly. Dream Nails Band, founded by feminist activists in 2015. They call themselves a highly tip band of witches mixed political rage with contagious pop punk joy. winning hearts and funds for abortion charities wherever they go. Their debut album is out now on Alco Pop and Down Alone Records. They've received reviews from Kerrang, which is a pretty big magazine for like on the rock side of things. NME, Clash, DIY, Upset Dork. This came out in 2020. They built a reputation across the UK and Europe for their Riders live shows, including touring with Anti-Flag and Cherry Glazer, which I haven't heard of them, but I could check them out. And they headline Glastonbury's Sisterhood stage 3 times in a row. They're championed by Steve Lamont, Tom Robinson, Amy Lamey, Jack Saunders, Hugh Stevens, and John Kennedy on UK radio. Definitely punky power pop sound. They were joined in 2021. They were joined by non-binary actress performer Lee Kirby on lead vocals, and they rebooked the album tour. They toured earlier this year, back in September. But DIY aesthetic, DIY attitude, in your face, attitude definitely the vibe you get from them. You can check them out on Instagram as well. Their handle is at Dream Nails Band. So check them out on Instagram at Dream Nails Bands as their handle. So let's see what else we got to talk about. Oh, okay. This is depending on how you feel about remakes. This is could be good news or bad news or eye-rolling news. Apparently, this is from Shadow and Act. The Preacher's Wife is being reimagined by Angela Bassett and Courtney B. Vance. Basically, the thing about remaking The Preacher's Wife, which came out in '96 and starred Whitney and Denzel Washington, and Jennifer Lewis and a lot of other folks as well. This game is being produced by Angela Bassett, one of the film's original stars, Courtney B. Vance. Of course, he was in it. They are producing the project through Bassett Vance Productions, and Anthony Hemingway is attached to direct. It was based on a 1996 film of the same name, which was directed by Penny Marshall and starred in Washington, Whitney Houston, and Vance. It's become a holiday favorite over the years. Of course, the soundtrack was fire. Think of all the Whitney got her gospel best. Let's see. Oh, he's and Courtney B. Vance will appear in the new film as well. Now, of course, this is met at least in the Whitney fan group that I'm a part of. It's been met with some grumbling by some of the fans because it's being remade. Because I guess after The Bodyguard, they're thinking like, "What, are they going to remake all of the other movies?" But the gag kind of is that The Preacher's Wife remake in '96 was a remake of The Bishop's Wife that was made in 1947. So it's like you're getting mad at a remake of a remake. But they can also be influenced by the fact that Angela Bassett is producing, and some fans in the community look at her sideways for the movie she did on Lifetime that starred Yaya. Remember that? It's probably about maybe about 6-7 years ago. I'm not sure. I can't remember when it came out, but some folks were not pleased with that portrayal of Whitney. They kind of have, put it on their shit list, like a better word ever since then. Which I don't, but it wasn't an epic film, but it wasn't up for me to cancel Bernadine. So there you go. Let's talk about probably go with Anthony Hemingway already. And this is talking about the director and what they're gonna bring to the project. It could go either way. It depends. I think if they try to remake it as it was done with Whitney and Denzel, it will, because Whitney was Whitney, and not just in terms of like her presence, in the film, but also obviously the singing, the soundtrack. I mean, she brought that to life with that voice. So if they're gonna go that route, I think they really have to try to not imitate that, but just kind of go their own way with it. Like I was saying about The Bodyguard, people were about the Bodyguard remake. If they remake it, they don't have to do it as the 1992 movie was. They can just do it the same premise, but we'll have it with new people and like a new feel to it. Like don't try to redo songs from The Bodyguard for that project, and don't try to redo the songs that Whitney did or the version of the songs that she did for The Preacher's Wife, because it's just not gonna work. You can't all that magic that was Whitney. So they're gonna do it. I think they should try to really go on with it and make something original out of it, and just kind of have a different take on it. Even though Courtney B. Vance will still be in the movie like he wasn't in the version '96. So we'll see. Of course, you still got I Want to Dance with Somebody, the official biopic is still in the works. They've had a few more announcements as far as casting goes. I'm not sure as far as the looks go with these parents. I mean, the actors are fine. I've seen them in lots of different things. One is from the actor, one has been tapped to play Whitney's mother, Sissy. I can't think of her name, but she's been in like CSI, I think, and she's been, or Law and Order, I think, SVU, and a couple other shows. She, good actress, but she doesn't look like Sissy. And the guy who's tapped to play John doesn't look like John Houston either. So, which they don't have to be exact replicas, but at the same time, they really don't look like Sissy or John Houston. But cautiously optimistic. So we'll see. But yeah, so that's happening as well. But, see how that pans out. I can't remember when this and then we're supposed to come out. Probably will come out to like later in 2022, I would think, because I'm not sure how far along they are with as far as actual shooting. So yeah, again, cautious hopes. But anyway, let's get back into our next video. This is an article I came across. I want to see Mickey reviews. I came across her on there, but this is a great, beautiful, kind of slowing down the mood for a second, especially after our last track. This is Hein, and the name of this song is a Balloon. So let's get into that. But this is Hein, and this is a Balloon.
No matter where you go, believe and let it show. Following the shining light. Oh, la 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 la. 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 Oh, la 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 la. Beaming through the haze, fire in our gaze. Night turns to day, glooming all the way, running through the days in flames, flames. Oh, la 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 la. 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 More growing, tripping, falling, stare another way. Tell me, do we feel it all the same? Walking in the middle of this rain. More blooming, soaping, coming, spring is in the air. Your wings won't take you anywhere. Oh, la 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 la. 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 All we ever wanted, all we ever needed.
Was Hein with Balloon. Like I said, very different vibe from the last video we played. Very mellow. Actually reminds me a bit of Kalala, if you know her. Her sound, a very sort of like breezy vocal, layered, breezy vocal, kind of laid back, but still kind of, a little bit of a beat driven sound. Sound like Waiting, just a little more tempo, but similar. Their voices to me have similar tones. If you like Kalala. If not, you can look her up. But anyway, a few facts about Hein. She's based in Brooklyn. She's a singer-songwriter and a sound designer. Ethereal vocals meshing with lush textures, like I was saying, and minimal beats. It's influenced by like a wide variation of sounds from electronic to soul, traditional Eastern styles. She's a Vietnamese Hungarian artist. She started her singing career at age 15. She released 2 albums so far, and she played the lead role of Kim in the musical Miss Saigon. She's performed in different cities across Europe and also in the United States and Asia. She's also been awarded Glamorous Woman of the Year and the Viva Comment Award. So I'll write some little feathers in her cap. You can follow her on Instagram as well. Her handle is Hein 999. It's Hein Hien 999. Let's see what she has coming up next. Speaking of staying on the topic of music, if you're unaware, of course, Christmas is upon us, Halloween is over, and then what that means is that Her Highness has come down to bless us with the spirit of the season, aka Mariah Carey. She released a new song today, over in midnight. Fall in Love with Christmas. I believe it's the name of the song, with Khalid and with Kirk Franklin. I love the song. I loved it more than I thought I would love it. Actually, it played it. I probably played it back at least about 10 times actually this morning. I think the vibe I got from it was it's like a mix of like a Christmas version of like My All, like the Butterfly era, but then towards the end, when Kurt comes in the gospel, so it's like, which I guess could be like Fly Like a Bird from Emancipation of Mimi. So it's like a mix of like My All, Butterfly era, Mariah, a little bit of Charm Bracelet era, then here comes in the gospel influence, with Kirk Franklin. So and it holds together actually pretty well. She sounds great. Khaled sounds great. Kirk doing his come on, woo, as Kirk does, and the choir sounds great. And they come in, and, those stacked vocals that they usually do that gospel, full gospel sound. Do I think it'll be as big a hit as All for Christmas? I don't know. And the reason I say I don't know is because number one, it's not immediately like I don't want a lot for Christmas. It's not like immediately gets you into like that sort of like, oh, all right, yeah. It's like it's a slow ballad, and then it morphs like kind of like a gospel a gospel track at the end. And so I think maybe the pace of the first part and also the overt gospel-y part at the end may turn off or not appeal as much to people who aren't really in the R&B and gospel, or and it may not have as wide of an appeal as as all for Christmas is like a secular Christmas song, basically, and it sounds very much like a Christmas song. This one does too. It's just a little bit more subtle. But because certain vocals she does like a fa la la la, but in like a different part of the song. So it's like here and there, the touches of it. But and of course the song is called Fall in Love with Christmas, so it's there. But I don't know if it'll be able to penetrate the mainstream the same way all for Christmas is. But it's a great track. I mean, I think it's what's great about Mariah's Christmas songs, at least the original ones, is that usually when artists do Christmas albums or Christmas themed music, they usually just cover the usual Joy to the World, which we did very well. But Joy to the World, Silent Night, like Temptations, like they cover Christmas songs, and they may put their own spin on them, but they usually just the standards. But with Mariah, she one so far has become a standard, and this one is it may not become a standard, but it's a great song. So she does like really great original Christmas music that doesn't feel like cheesy Christmas time stuff. But anyway, take a listen to it if you will. I think it sounds great. So, but we'll see if it becomes a classic or her 20th number one. I think she's at 19 right now. So, but no, never know. She may be able to make people's hearts go 3 sizes that day, and maybe they'll get it up to number one. So. All right. Then before we get into our last video of the night, our last headline of the night, now Gabrielle Union is optioning All Boys Aren't Blue, which is a memoir for a series development with Sony TV. But I haven't read a memoir, but sounds like an interesting project. Gabrielle's I Have Another Productions has optioned television rights to George M. Johnson's bestselling memoir All Boys Aren't Blue, to develop a series with Sony Pictures TV, where I Have Another is under a first look deal. In his book, published April 28th by Macmillan, journalist and LGBTQ plus activist Johnson explores his childhood in Ellis to grow up in Plainville, New Jersey, as well as college years attending an HBCU in Virginia. From memories of getting his teeth kicked in by bullies at age 5, to his loving relationship with his grandmother, whom he affectionately called Nanny, to his first sexual experiences. Young adult memoir showcases the life of growing up under the duality of being Black and queer. The stories wrestle with triumph and tragedy of uncover heavy topics such as gender identity, toxic masculinity, brotherhood, family, structural marginalization, consent, and Black joy. So right up my alley. Child memoir is a play on gender reveals and heteronormative association of the color blue for boys and pink for girls. It's also a nod to Johnson's dad, who was a cop and grew up in a blue household. Beliefs surrounding queerness and Blackness weren't necessarily in line with one another. So it sounds like an interesting project. And just a quick quote from him. He says, "I wrote this memoir and shared these stories because of the importance and need to consider Black stories and from the Black experience. I didn't have stories like this growing up, and honestly, I don't have many now, so I knew I needed to do my part to make sure the next generation of Black queer children had something that they could relate to and connect with." So sound good. Sound like an interesting project, and of course with Gabrielle Union having Zaya, and having her in the house, and sure it has informed her her decision to option this book and to produce it. So it doesn't say when it's going to come out, when the release date. I think it's just like an earlier announcement, but it does sound interesting. She's making a point of really doing the work, I guess, to be all Ayanla about it, and really trying to put it out there that she's using her platform to be an ally and to give creators a platform to make these kind of stories. That's good. That's good. But before we get to the last video, I have to say actually a quick Strong J and Pal in the back, because we've reached 10 likes on our official Our Sensei Show playlist that I update monthly. So just updated for this month, November. So 10 likes, not earth shattering, but still progress. If you have a track that you like that is great, but you don't have a video for it, or even if you do have a video for it, you can submit them to afrosenseishow@gmail.com. Again, it's afrosenseishow@gmail.com. Give them a listen, and like I said, it's updated every month. I tend to keep the songs. Usually, most I put on at one time would be 30. So I just usually make it between 20 and 30 songs. Sometimes a little less than 20. It depends on, just depends. So that way it's more opportunities to get everybody played. But again, if you have a song and things, you could be right for the playlist, and you're part of the community, send it to me at afrosenseishow@gmail.com, and I'll give it a listen. Also, and of course, send your videos to afrosenseishow@gmail.com, and then maybe we can possibly play them on the next show. Next show will be on the 19th, actually. So get close to the end of 2021. It's been like on light speed this year. Yeah, hopefully more people that share the playlist and like the playlist, the more it'll grow, the more ears will be on your music, which helps you and helps the show as well. So think about that and encourage any artists to submit. So but getting to our last video tonight. This video we tried to play last time, but we ran into some little technical snafus. We're all right tonight, so we're gonna get into it. This is a really great song, a really beautiful video. This is Mikal Kilgore, and the name of the song is called "Man in the Barbershop." So let's get into that now. This is Mikal Kilgore, and this is "Man in the Barbershop."
I walked in, you were there. It was as simple as that. I knew you were the one that I wanted. But you'd never want me back. And you were just smiling. You and those almond-shaped eyes. You said, hey, I'm a fan of your melodies. Someday maybe you'll write one for me. So I'm writing a song for the man in the barber shop who sat sat in the chair by the door. He don't come around here no more, but he stays on my mind, so I'm writing. I even remember the cut he got, a low Philly fade and goatee. I wish he'd have come home with me. He did not. She walked and saw us there. There was nothing left to say, 'cause her eyes shine like diamonds to look at him. And he started glowing when she came in. No use of trying. What's hers could never be mine. But when you walked away with her hand in hand, part of me wished for a backward glance. So I'm writing a song for the man in the barber. That man sat in the chair by the door. He don't come around here no more, not anymore, but he stays on. She'd have come home, he did not.
All right, and that was Mikhail Kilgore with Man in the Barbershop. Like I said, really beautiful video, really captures like a slice of life, you know, that happens every day. You know, see a man, think he cute, you know, ZA, I don't know. Or bye. You know, it's a really great song, really great video. Just a few things about Mikhail. It's influenced by gospel, influenced by soul and R&B, also country music. He has a debut album called A Man Born Black. It was released in 2019 as exploration of faith, loss, and the stumbling spills along the way to maturity and the beauty of hope and love. Now, of course, 2021 has the current single is The Man in the Barbershop. Story told from a black gay man's perspective about his and many others' experiences at the neighborhood barbershop, where people gather and gossip about their community and world. His first single from the Kilgore since his Grammy-nominated single "Let Me Go" from his last album. He made history at the last Grammy Awards, the first openly gay artist to receive a nomination in Best Traditional R&B Performance category. He was born and raised in Florida, and before he moved to Nashville. He attended FSU, Florida State University. And now he actually caught the attention of Billy Porter during an audition, and Porter kind of became his mentor and helped him, found his way to Broadway in New York City. On Broadway, he's played in Motown the Musical, The Book of Mormon, and Hair, so some pretty big hits. He's also chosen roles. He was in The Wiz. He also Jesus Christ Superstar. He also appeared in songs for New World, produced by Stephen Sondheim, Into the Woods, and Smokey Joe's Cafe. So mostly hyphenate, Broadway, pop music, R&B music, he gets around. So you can follow him on same name of Mikhail Kilgore as MYKALKILGORE. So Mikhail Kilgore on Instagram. You can follow him on there, but you can look him up on Spotify, everywhere his music is on there. So that pretty much wraps up all our headlines and our artists for tonight. It's great for everybody that artists are making these videos again. If you know an artist is doing great things and has great videos, send them to me at afrosensation@gmail.com. If they have a great song but no video, you can still send me the link, and if I like it, I can put it on December's playlist, possibly for next month. Keep growing the playlist out. Next show, like I said, will be on November 19th. May or may not have another co-host. I'm thinking about it. I think I have someone in mind. I can see if they're willing to do it. That'd be a great, collab for the next show. But until then, thank you whoever tuned in. You have it quiet in the chat tonight, but it'd be like that sometimes. So until next time, I have an outgoing phrase, but stay black, stay gay, stay bi, stay trans, all that shit. So be proud, be unapologetic, and good night.